Hey, good afternoon. This is Tony with Custom Pits. I've had a lot of questions asking me about how we actually prepare our chicken. And to be honest, it is so simple, but there is a big process to what we do. Is called brining. And brining is a way of curing and using salt to draw moisture into the meat of the chicken. Now, what we do is I use very simple 1 gallon of boiling water to 1.5 cups of salt, iodized salt, just basic old plain old salt. I dump that into the boiling water, and I let the water keep boiling enough to actually solidify the salt. Then I add, well, to be honest, this is a 1/2 cup of our special seasoning. And with our special seasoning, for later videos, I'll give you the breakdown of our special seasoning. So I dump that in there, get it all where it just solidifies, and then when that's all done with, I will use about probably 4 cups of solid ice cubes to cool the water down, and then we'll put our chicken in. So let me get this going here, and I'll get it all solidified and get the salt melted down and the special seasoning melted down, and then we'll go ahead and catch up with you a little bit later, and we'll show you how we use the ice water to cool the temperature down. Hey, this is Tony again with Custom Pits. You know what? My youngins told me that I'm an absolute idiot. What they told me was that I was actually not using the English language correct at all. I said that I'm going to solidify the salt and my special sauce. They said, Dad, you are dumb as a box of rocks. The truth be known is that I was liquefying the salt. With that being said, I apologize for my lack of English language articulating, and I'm going to clarify at this point. I'm busting up laughing, but that's okay. The truth be known is that I dump that salt in there, the iodized salt and our special sauce, and I'm going to bring it all up to a boil in a gallon of water and get it all liquefied, as they told me. I'm going to liquefy it till the salt is all broken down. Then, at that point, when the salt is all broken down, I'm going to use regular old apple cider here, and I'm going to put a mason jar of apple cider in there. I'll put the mason jar of apple cider in there, right about there. That's a good old swig. I'm going to put that into my brine, and I'm going to let that bring back up to a boil. I drop the temperature just a little bit. It's going to come back up to a boil, and once it comes to a boil, I'm going to turn the fire off and let it cool down. Then I'm going to add, once it cools down, I'm going to add 4 cups of ice, and at that point, then I'll put the brine over the chicken. Once this cools down, I'm going to catch back up to you, and I'm going to show you how I put that chicken in the brine. Hey, this is Tony with Custom Pits again. I'm following back up about brining my chicken. I'm going to brine some chicken leg quarters, and like I talked about earlier, I got the beginnings of my brine all done here, and like I said, I normally use about 4 cups of ice. Once the brine's kind of cooled down a little bit, I dump the ice in. This is about 4 cups of ice. I took it from the ice box there, and I drop that all in there, and wow, making this video and all, it kind of stuck to the side a little bit. I guess trying to prepare ahead of time. But anyhow, I put about 4 cups of ice in there into the brine. I get it all kind of cooled down. And then I take the chicken, I'm going to use leg quarters here. You cannot beat bells around this area for leg quarters. Normally it's maximum 79 cents a pound. So I dump all my leg quarters in here. Put them all in here. I'm turning kind of sideways so you can see them. Put my leg quarters in. 10-pound bag of leg quarters for $7.90. You can't beat that. That's a lot of good eating for $7.90. Set all my leg quarters down. I try to put, to be honest, I try to put the skin side down for the leg quarters. And the reason why that being is the liquid from the brine is going to cover the top and I allow it to settle into it. So, I got my leg quarters all down. Oh, that's a big old leg quarter. That's going to make Mama happy there. Put my leg quarters in. They're all down in there. Then I take my brine. Got them all situated down in a big old bowl. Normally I use one of them tinfoil pans that's normally like a turkey baster. But I got my brine. And you can see we still got the ice in here. And my brine, I take all my brine and I just dump down in on it. Wow. You see that now? You see how much that brine cover up on it. Make sure it's all pushed down in. Just a little bit of ice cubes floating in there. I'll cover this up and I'll set it out to where it stays cool all night. You don't want it to get warm or nothing. So it stays cool all night, and then tomorrow I'll put it on the smoker. Hi, good afternoon. This is Tony back from Custom Pits. Last night I brined this chicken. We went through a whole little video on how to brine chicken. Now today I pulled it out of the brine. Of course we kept it cool all night. We pulled it out of the brine. I pat dry them down, and now I'm going to inject them with our special barbecue sauce. Now this is amazing. We call it barbecue butter. We use 2 sticks of butter and 1 shot glass of our special rub. And boy, oh boy, it makes some chicken so good. So I inject each leg quarter in 2 spots. I come over here. In the first spot I normally inject, got my fingers are slippery from the butter there. What I first do is I go right in close to the bone, and you want to get, see all the little holes here for the injecting sauce to come out. You want to make sure those are all the way in the meat. And then when you start injecting, you can actually see it start to fill up. You'll see the meat getting all fluffy there, puffy. That's all that barbecue butter going in there. I take it to where it starts to come out, start to ooze out. Of course, it's going to come out a little bit. And then I pick another spot up here on the thigh portion and do the same thing. Fill her all up. That will keep that meat all nice and moist. See it puffing up there? Oh, that's going to be yummy. So I do that with all the leg quarters here. And when I take the leg quarters out, I kind of pat them dry a little bit. Get the extra brine off. Do the same thing on this one. Go down in next to the bone. Just pick a spot there. Slide in, and you'll see this one get real puffy here. So fill it all up. Oh yeah. What happens is while the chicken's in the smoker and it's warming up, I just keep all that meat nice and moist inside there. Oh yeah. So I'm going to take these down to the cooker in a little bit. I'm going to put them on the cooker. Going to run them at about 250. Probably run them about 2.5 hours till they come up to good temperature inside. Hey, welcome back. This is Tony with Custom Pits. Got my fire up going. It's about 225, 235. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this chicken on the grill, get it in the cooker, and we'll get some smoking going on it. Go ahead and slide this rack out a little bit. Makes it so much easier to load. I'm gonna start them with skin side down. That way all the injected barbecue butter still stays seeping into it. Try to space these out a little bit so you don't have any spots where you don't get even cooking on them. Got some drumsticks in here for the kids. They always like drumsticks. That's going to be a little bit of a Tony bite. I want to get this door shut back up to hold the heat in. Make sure we don't got no spots where anything's touching, otherwise you don't get even cooking. You have a little raw spot later on. Slide this grill back in. Look how easy that grill slides. Let me close her up here. Get her temperature back up. We'll let that run. I'm going to let it run about 2 hours. And then we'll probably turn them and run them for about 45 minutes to an hour on the other side. We'll get some good barbecue going. Hey y'all, this is Tony back with Custom Pits and Fabrication. I'm getting ready to flip this chicken over. It's been running a little more than an hour, about an hour and a half now. So I'm going to slide this grill out a little bit so it makes it easier to... Oh, look at that color. That barbecue butter just kind of starting to ooze out. Look at that. That is going to be some moist. Look at that moistness. That is some chicken. Chicken is always really tricky to do because it dries out so easy. That barbecue butter. Remember, 2 sticks of melted barbecue butter and 1 shot glass of our special rub. That is the mix. Nice injecting. Again, make sure you don't have no spots touching. If you have spots touching, then you get little raw spots. That ain't good. Let me close that back up again. We'll let her run about another hour. That'll be some good eats. Well, I'll check back with you in about an hour or so. We'll get ready to pull the chicken off the cooker. Well, welcome back, folks. This is Tony with Custom Pits and Fabrication. It's been about 4 hours on this run. Actually, it's been about 4.5 hours on this chicken run. And I'm getting ready to pull the chicken off the grill. Man, this cooker has been holding the temperature perfect. Look at that smoke. Woo! Blast me there in the smoke. I'm going to go ahead and use this glove to get a hold of the grill a little bit here and slide it out. That grill slides so nice. Woo! My goodness. Look at that. That is some good eats. That is good eats. Ooh, that boy a little bit warm there. Nice color. Nice color. That's a little Tony bite there. Woo! Got my gloves on so no one will get offended about my hand or nothing. Slide this back in here. I want to show you something. That barbecue butter has got to be amazing. How many times you see chicken after being on the grill for 4.5 hours? Look at all that juice. That is just, man, that had nothing but goodness coming out there. That is amazing. I want to thank you all for stopping by the site and checking out the videos. I just want to make one last little closing here. Remember, every good barbecue starts with a pit from Custom Pits and Fabrication.